Every year, millions of people spend enormous amounts of money on shoes they don't actually need. Not because the shoes are rare, not because they are handmade, but because of what they represent: motivation, status, confidence, identity. Somehow, Nike transformed a simple product into one of the most powerful emotional brands in the world. A company whose logo became recognized almost everywhere on earth. But Nike didn't build its empire by selling shoes alone. It built it by selling a feeling people wanted to associate with themselves. So how did Nike turn ambition into a billion-dollar business? Nike's story began long before it became a global symbol of sports and ambition. In the early 1960s, Phil Knight was not a billionaire businessman. He was a former track athlete searching for a better future. At the time, the athletic shoe industry was dominated by expensive European brands like Adidas and Puma, and for many athletes, quality running shoes were difficult to afford. But Knight believed something important. If high-quality shoes could be produced at lower costs, they could completely change the market. Together with his former coach, Bill Bowerman, he started a small company called Blue Ribbon Sports. At first, they didn't manufacture their own shoes. They sold imported Japanese running shoes from the trunk of a car at local track events. Small operation, limited money, no global vision yet. But Bowerman was obsessed with improving athletic performance. He constantly experimented with shoe designs, searching for ways to make athletes run faster and feel lighter. And slowly, the company began building a reputation among runners. But the real transformation had not happened yet, because Nike still wasn't selling identity. It was only selling shoes. But everything changed when Nike stopped focusing only on performance and started understanding emotion. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, the company was growing rapidly. But competition in the athletic industry was becoming more intense. Adidas dominated global sports. Reebok was rising quickly. And Nike needed something bigger than better shoes. It needed a stronger identity. And that is when Nike made one of the most important decisions in its history. Instead of simply marketing products, Nike began marketing ambition itself. The company realized something powerful about human behavior. People do not just want to buy performance. They want to feel connected to greatness. So Nike stopped advertising shoes as objects and started turning athletes into symbols. Michael Jordan became more than a basketball player. He became aspiration, confidence, excellence. And with the launch of Air Jordan, Nike transformed sneakers into cultural identity. Suddenly, people were not buying shoes because they needed them. They were buying what the shoes represented: success, power, discipline, achievement. Then came another shift that changed the company forever. 3 simple words: just do it. The slogan was not really about sports. It was about action, about self-belief, about pushing beyond limits. And because of that, Nike's message reached far beyond athletes. It reached ordinary people searching for motivation in their own lives. This was the moment Nike stopped being a sportswear company and started becoming an emotional brand.
Subscribe for more business documentaries.
But Nike's greatest strength was not its athletes. It was its understanding of human psychology. Because Nike never really sold shoes. It sold emotion. From the beginning, Nike understood something most companies did not. People are constantly searching for a stronger version of themselves, more disciplined, more confident, more successful. And Nike positioned itself as part of that transformation. Every advertisement, every slogan, every athlete partnership reinforced the same emotional message. You can become more. That idea is incredibly powerful because when a product becomes connected to personal ambition, it stops feeling like a product. It starts feeling like identity. Even the Nike logo plays a psychological role. The swoosh is simple, fast, energetic. It visually represents movement itself. And over time, the symbol became emotionally attached to performance, determination, and confidence. But Nike's psychology went even deeper. It created belonging. Athletes wore Nike. Celebrities wore Nike. Entire communities formed around sneaker culture and sports identity. And once people feel part of a tribe, loyalty becomes much stronger. Limited releases increased exclusivity. Collaborations created hype. Scarcity increased emotional desire. The shoes became more than functional objects. They became status symbols. And because status is emotional, demand kept growing. Over time, Nike stopped becoming just a sports brand. It became a global symbol of ambition itself. And once ambition became attached to the brand, Nike's expansion became unstoppable. What began as a small running shoe company slowly transformed into a global cultural force. Nike expanded far beyond track and field. Basketball, football, fitness, streetwear, lifestyle fashion. The brand began appearing everywhere, on professional athletes, in music culture, in schools, gyms, stadiums, and city streets across the world. And as its visibility grew, so did its influence. Nike no longer represented only sports performance. It represented mindset, the idea of pushing harder, winning, becoming better than yesterday. This emotional message translated across countries, languages, and cultures. Because ambition is universal, and Nike understood how to package that ambition into branding people could wear. By partnering with some of the biggest athletes in history, Nike strengthened its connection to greatness itself. Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Cristiano Ronaldo, LeBron James. These athletes were not just endorsements. They became emotional extensions of the brand. And over time, Nike's influence expanded beyond products into culture itself. Sneakers became collectibles. Releases became events. Fashion and sports started blending together. By the 2020s, Nike had become one of the most recognizable brands on earth, not simply because of what it sold, but because of what people believed it represented.
Subscribe for more business documentaries.
But as Nike's influence grew larger, so did the criticism surrounding the brand. Behind the motivational slogans and inspiring advertisements, many began questioning the reality behind Nike's global empire. One of the biggest controversies involved labor practices. Over the years, reports and investigations raised concerns about factory conditions and low wages in parts of Nike's international supply chain. Critics argued that while the company promoted empowerment and success through its branding, many workers involved in production experienced a very different reality. At the same time, Nike also faced criticism for consumer culture and pricing. Limited sneaker releases created massive hype, but also fueled resale markets where prices sometimes exploded far beyond retail value. For some people, this represented exclusivity and status. For others, it reflected manipulation through scarcity and emotional marketing. And as sneaker culture became more competitive, the emotional attachment to products grew even stronger. Shoes became symbols of identity, social status, and belonging. In some cases, people waited for hours or even days just for the chance to buy limited releases. But despite criticism, protests, and controversy, Nike's dominance remained incredibly powerful because by this point, Nike was no longer just selling athletic products. It had embedded itself into culture, ambition, and self-image across the world. And in the end, Nike became much more than a sports company. From a small business selling shoes from the trunk of a car to one of the most recognizable brands in the world, Nike's journey was never just about products. It was about emotion, ambition, identity. Because Nike understood something powerful about human behavior. People don't only buy what they need, they buy who they want to become. And by turning motivation into branding, Nike built a global empire people emotionally connected to every single day.
Thanks for watching Billion Arc.